Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're diving deep into Eckhart Tolle's life-changing book, A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose. This book offers profound insights into how to transcend the ego and live in alignment with your higher self, leading to a more peaceful, fulfilled, and purpose-driven life. If you've ever wondered how to break free from limiting beliefs, understand the true nature of your consciousness, and experience lasting inner peace, this video is for you. Let's explore the key ideas from this book and how you can start applying them to your daily life to create your own personal transformation and contribute to a new earth. Let's dive in. The first chapter of A New Earth is called The Flowering of Human Consciousness. In this opening, Tolle discusses how human consciousness is currently in a state of unconsciousness, driven by the ego. This unconscious state is what keeps individuals trapped in mental patterns, fears, desires, and past conditioning, which in turn causes suffering. The primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation, but your thoughts about it. Eckhart Tolle. Tolle suggests that we can create a new earth, a transformed world, if more people awaken to the present moment and free themselves from the egoic mind. The ego is the false self, a mental construct that separates us from others and causes division, competition, and fear. Tolle argues that in order to create a new earth, humanity must undergo a spiritual awakening to transcend the ego and live from a higher state of consciousness. The first key step is to awaken to the fact that the present moment is the only reality, and the ego is just a mental distraction. By letting go of past conditioning and future anxieties, we can start to experience life in its true form, peaceful, connected, and full of potential. In Chapter 2, titled Ego, The Current State of Humanity, Tolle explores the nature of the ego and how it shapes human behavior. The ego is a false self, created by the mind to give a sense of identity. It thrives on separation and division, and it is constantly seeking validation, approval, and security from external sources. The ego is not the true self, but a mental construct, a false identity created by the mind. Eckhart Tolle. The ego identifies with external factors such as possessions, titles, and accomplishments. It is driven by a constant need to compete and assert dominance over others. Tolle explains that this attachment to the ego is what leads to suffering and unhappiness because we become trapped in the cycle of comparison, competition, and attachment to temporary things. The key to transcending the ego is to become aware of it. Once we recognize that we are not the ego, we can start to shift our focus from external validation to internal peace. This awareness allows us to break free from the ego's hold and begin to live from a deeper, more authentic place, our true self. Moving on to Chapter 3, titled The State of Presence, Tolle introduces the idea of presence as the antidote to the ego. Presence is the state of being fully aware and conscious in the present moment, free from past thoughts or future concerns. When we are truly present, we experience the world as it is, without the filters of our mental conditioning. Realize deeply that the present moment is all you ever have. Make the now the primary focus of your life. Eckhart Tolle. Presence is not something we can achieve through effort. It is something that arises naturally when we stop identifying with the mind and allow ourselves to simply be. The key to presence is awareness, being aware of the sensations in our body, the sounds around us, and the moment-to-moment experience of life. When we live in this state of awareness, we connect with our true self, which exists beyond the ego. The more present we are, the more we experience peace and joy because we are no longer caught up in the endless loop of thinking, worrying, and resisting. Presence allows us to experience life as it truly is, beautiful, peaceful, and full of potential. In Chapter 4, titled The Ego and Relationships, Tolle discusses how the ego impacts our interactions with others. Relationships, according to Tolle, are often driven by the ego, which seeks validation and security from others. The ego turns people into objects, something to be used for personal gain, and this leads to a lack of true connection and intimacy. The primary cause of conflict in relationships is the ego's need for validation and control. Eckhart Tolle. Tolle explains that the unconscious ego is constantly seeking to dominate, control, or manipulate others to feel validated. This creates tension and conflict because the ego sees others as a threat to its sense of self-importance. As a result, many relationships are based on conditional love, dependency, and fear of abandonment. To experience true, conscious relationships, Tolle suggests that we must first transcend the ego. This means seeing others not as extensions of our own desires, but as individuals who have their own experiences, needs, and perspectives. By letting go of the ego's need to control, we can create relationships that are based on mutual respect, understanding, and spiritual connection. In Chapter 5, The inner purpose. Tolle reveals that our true purpose in life is not found in external achievements, but in spiritual awakening. The inner purpose of every human being is to awaken to their true nature and transcend the egoic mind. Once we achieve this inner awakening, we can experience a life of true peace, fulfillment, and connection. Your inner purpose is to awaken. Your outer purpose is to create or do something in the world. Eckhart Tolle. Tolle explains that outer purpose, what we do in the world, such as our careers or life's work, is not as important as inner purpose, which is to awaken to our higher self. By aligning our lives with spiritual consciousness, we fulfill our deepest purpose. True fulfillment comes not from external success, but from being who we truly are. In the final chapter, The New Earth, Tolle discusses the concept of a new earth, a world in which humanity is no longer controlled by the ego. A new earth is a collective shift in human consciousness where individuals live in harmony with the present moment, free from the egoic mind's dominance. This new world is based on unity, compassion, and spiritual awareness. A new earth is not a place, it is a state of consciousness. Eckhart Tolle. Tolle emphasizes that the new earth is not something we can create externally, it begins with each individual. As more people awaken to their true selves, the collective consciousness shifts towards spiritual enlightenment. The new earth is a conscious society, one in which the ego no longer dominates and people are united by a shared sense of peace and awareness. Tolle concludes that the awakening of human consciousness is the key to creating a better world. It starts with you, by awakening to your true self, transcending the ego, and living a life of presence and purpose. As you do this, you contribute to the global shift toward a more compassionate, connected world. So there you have it. A New Earth, by Eckhart Tolle teaches us how to transcend the ego, awaken to our true nature, and create a world based on spiritual consciousness. The key to personal and collective transformation lies in our ability to be present, let go of the ego, and align with our inner purpose. Remember, creating a new earth starts with you. As you awaken to your true self, you contribute to a global shift in consciousness. If you're ready to live a life of peace, purpose, and spiritual fulfillment, start by letting go of the ego and embracing the present moment. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content on spiritual growth and personal development. Let me know in the comments, what lesson from A New Earth are you most excited to apply in your life? Remember, the new earth starts with you. Start today.